a lot of times I talk to lawyers and they're interested in building citations and they want to know, should I use Yext or should I use like Moz Local or should we do them manually or different things like this. And for anyone that doesn't know, lawyer directories or law firm directories or just any directory is basically a directory where your business can be listed. So it can be, the popular ones are like, Facebook is actually could be considered a directory. Yelp, Yellow Pages, Avo, lawyers.com, and then, the list goes on. There's about 25 major ones that we typically use. The most important ones for law firms being Yelp, Avo, FindLaw, InfoUSA, and there's one more I'm drawing a blank on right now. But basically, it's a lot of the really big ones that you would kind of expect, right? But there are some ways that you can make these directories really work better for you. And then there's certain ways that if you don't do this correctly, then these directories are just a waste of time, money, and energy. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to make them actually work for you instead of just spinning your wheels and wasting your time and your money and all that type of stuff. So now, do me a favor, let me know in the comments how much time you guys have spent working on directories, working on listings, all that type of stuff, if you even focus on it, because I'm very curious to know if this is something that people are focusing on. And after watching the video at the end, let me know if I change your mind at all, because it does make a big difference. Okay, so if another thing I want to point out is that if you want to get your law firm ranked in the Google 3-pack, then with more tips kind of like this, then I'm actually doing a full day boot camp where I'm going to show you step by step how you can get your law firm ranked in the Google 3-pack. There's so many things that you can control when it comes to where you rank in Google. It's just most of the time you don't know what they are, and there's a lot of kind of really common sense things, and there's a lot of other like tips and tricks like what I'm going to show you in this video. And basically I'm going to take an entire day, and I've never done it before. It's going to be a live training. You can ask me all the questions you want during the training. I'm going to be teaching it. My team's going to be teaching it. And we're just going to knock it out for you. So it's going to be a full day training. If you're interested, go to lawyergmb.com. The link's around here somewhere. You go get signed up. So, okay. So now let's talk about the lawyer directory tip. I should say directory tips because there's a few tips here. So one of the biggest things that you need to pay attention to with lawyer directories, law firm directories, is if the directory listing itself is indexed. Now I'm going to explain what that means. Indexed means indexed by Google, which basically means, is Google saving this page in their cache, in their database, right? Basically, Google, when you do a Google search, you're not actually doing a live search of the entire internet. You're doing a search of all the pages that Google crawled and Google felt were important enough to save so that one day they might be able to be returned in a search. So one of the biggest issues with lawyer directories and law firm directories and just directories in general is that you create the listing, but then it doesn't get indexed. It doesn't get saved by Google. And if it's not saved by Google, then it doesn't really count. It's like it doesn't exist. And that's actually why we fired Yext a long time ago. We used to use Yext for all of our clients. And one day we discovered that like 90% of the listings on Yext were not indexed, meaning that Google didn't think that they were good enough to actually save. And basically that meant if we built 100 citations with Yext, it was super convenient because you go in one dashboard and you update everything. But the problem is that it's like you only have 10 listings, and that's not good, because the reason that we're creating these directories is because we're trying to increase our prominence and our relevance. Our prominence means that we're found a lot of different places. If we think we're found 100 places, but in reality we're only actually found 10 places, that is not good. So here's how you can tell if a directory is actually indexed. What you do is you go to Google, and in the actual search bar, you type the word cite, S-I-T-E, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the citation. You're going to grab the exact URL, just like if you were going to send your profile to somebody else, and you type that in there. So it's going to be cite URL. Don't use the brackets. You're just going to do cite URL. And if a link comes up in Google to your citation, then it's indexed, then you're good. If not, if it says no documents found or no matches or anything like that, then that means that it is not indexed. So what we realized after a while is that the reason that most of our directories were not indexed was because, and this is an issue with Yext, it's because we were not using a unique business description. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you're using a unique business description on every single citation that you create. Now, it doesn't have to be a 500-word description, but you need to have unique content on each one of these citations, because otherwise Google looks at them as duplicate listings and then de-indexes them, because Google kind of says, well, why should I have the same thing stored 90 times? We've got 10 of them. We don't need 90 of them, So the way that you get around this is by creating a unique business description for each one of your citations. Now, I know it's a little bit of a pain in the neck, but it's worth it, because if you're going to create 100 citations, you might as well get like 80 or 90 of them indexed versus 10 or 20 indexed, right? Now, here's the other thing. You're never going to get, or very, very rarely are you going to get 100% of your citations indexed. It just isn't going to happen. But, look, I'll take 80% over 20% any day, because it's so much better, right? So you need to make sure that you have a unique business description. Now, you can also build links very easily. You can build links to your citations or your business directories and get them indexed. So if you have some that are not indexed, then what you can do is you can build a few links. So the first thing you can do is you can link to them from your social profiles. So you can go on Facebook, you can be like, hey, check out our new directory listing on brownbook.com, and just link out to there, right? You can do the same thing on Twitter. You can do the same thing on Instagram, although I probably wouldn't do Instagram because then you're in your profile, your bio. So scratch Instagram. You can do Facebook. You can do Twitter. You can do YouTube if you wanted to. Just link out somewhere, right? Next thing you can do is you can create a GMB post from your Google My Business profile out to the directory. At a minimum, I would definitely do these two for everyone that is not indexed. Always do a social share and a GMB post. Now, if you really want to charge it up, you can also do a link from your website to the directory. And, what you could even do is you could have like just a page on your website that is like local directory listings or something like that. And you could link out from that page if you wanted to, or you could find some other strategic place to link from your website. But at bare minimum, you do social and GMB. So if you're going to sign up for lawyer directories, which I definitely think you need directories, this is a big part of what we do for our clients is signing up for directories, but you have to make sure that it gets indexed. If it's not indexed, it does not count. So the way you check to see if it's indexed is you go to Google and you type site, and then your URL. And then if it's there, great. If not, then you need to do a unique business description, which really, when we create our listings at this point, we just create a unique business description for each one anyway. And then another thing you can do is you can link out from social media. You can do a GMB post, and you can link from your website to each individual directory listing, and that is much more likely to get it indexed with Google, which means that it will actually count, which is the reason you're doing this. So I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments if this is helpful. And maybe while you're sitting here, you've actually gone and done a citation search. Let me know if you're finding things are indexed or not. Now, if you want to learn more about how to get your law firm ranked in the Google Maps, go ahead, click the link that's around here, lawyergmb.com. I'm going to do a full one-day training. I'm going to show you exactly how you can get your law firm ranked in the Google 3-pack. Lots of tips and tricks just like this. You don't need to be technical. You just need to kind of follow the steps, and you'll get ranked in the Google 3-pack. So I hope this video was helpful, and I will talk to everybody soon.